Luis Diaz out and Rodrygo Goes from Real Madrid in. Is that the play the Liverpool Football Club are after? First of all, I want to thank you all so much for the recent support. It has been incredible. We are close to 500 subscribers on YouTube and we have hit 4K on TikTok. We are smashing it. So if you are new here and you want daily Liverpool updates and all the Liverpool news and content you need, then please hit that like button, subscribe for more, as there's plenty coming. Hello and welcome back to For the Reds. My name is Ryan. Today we're going to be going over just that same scenario that looks like a real possibility. Now this morning there has been reports that Luis Diaz is close to a move with Bayern Munich and that the two clubs are still in negotiations, believing that a deal can be done around the €75 million mark. I would imagine personally that will include some add-ons, because that to me feels a little bit too low for Luis Diaz. Liverpool have identified Rodrygo Goes as their number one target. The left winger, right winger, striker, basically plays wherever Real Madrid need to play him. And I believe that would be an unbelievable replacement. So let's look at the two players. Rodrygo is a little bit more direct than Luis Diaz. Probably a similar profile to Desiree at PSG, who's had a fantastic season, and especially in the Champions League. Receives the ball and it's all about direct pace and power, swerving past players with ease, getting shots off both left foot, right foot, any chance they can around the box. Also a lot of fluidity in the way that they can play, the positions they can pick up. As we know, Rodrygo often fills in at the right wing and the left wing and the striker, and even sometimes in the 10 and centre mid for Real Madrid. Luis Diaz, however, has been predominantly left wing for Liverpool, whilst also doing a little bit of false nine last season under Arne Slot. Now that was due to injuries to our front line and Luis Diaz's decent performances in bringing others into play like Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo. I think that Liverpool are looking for a situation where they can take the profile of Luis Diaz, the goals, the assists, the function to the team, and replace that with someone who is a younger version who potentially, to some, especially in my eyes, has a little bit of a higher ceiling. And Rodrygo Goes and his versatility, similar to Luis Diaz, and his goals and assists in the Champions League, I identify as a really, really, really good replacement. Now, Liverpool's interest in Rodrygo goes quite far back to when he was a kid in Brazil. Liverpool tried to sign him, and I believe it would have been Jurgen Klopp's first ever signing, actually, between him and Michael Edwards. Unfortunately, Liverpool couldn't get that deal done as they weren't offering enough money to, I believe, Santos at the time was his club. And obviously he later went on to play for Real Madrid. Liverpool like to do deals for players they've had a long-term interest in, someone who they've done their background checks on and have known for quite a long time. Rodrygo fits that bill. If Liverpool are to sell Luis Diaz, you could imagine there would be an offensive towards Rodrygo. The question being, is the player open to a move from Real Madrid, his beloved club, to Liverpool? Well, it is reported this morning as well from Real Madrid sources that all of the players have been informed of their roles in the squad next season, and that Real Madrid feel they have too many attackers and there is room for a couple to leave. The players are on holiday at the moment, as we've seen from Rodrygo's Instagram. But it is reported in that same article that Rodrygo has been told basically that he's not going to be getting guaranteed minutes in game time. Now, if the player has any aspirations of building a career for Brazil and playing in the 2026 World Cup, should they qualify, then it is vital that he is playing football next season, preferably in his preferred position of left wing, where he can feel settled and an important part of the team and bring just how good he is to the footballing world. Because at the moment we're seeing a lot of flashes of this potential that we all thought was going to be one of the best wingers in world football. Now, at the age of 24, his achievements already, a 2-time European Cup winner with nearly 40 goals and assists in 60 European games for Real Madrid, is extremely impressive. And it feels like he's at a stage of his career, if he can get a settled home and a settled position, he can go on leaps and bounds and really bring all of that potential and world-class ability to the forefront. Liverpool would offer that platform and offer that home for him. One of the reports says that the Israeli super agent that is doing the sort of like the background checks and doing the work for Liverpool is still in conversations with Rodrygo and his dad. But at the moment, they have not received any kind of decent big club offer, was the words used. And that Rodrygo is still waiting out and only has eyes for Liverpool. If this is true, if the meeting has happened with Real Madrid and he has been informed that it's best for him to get a move, and Liverpool are now open to discussing a sale of Luis Diaz, and that's looking closer than ever, then you could imagine that the two are lining up nicely for Liverpool to come to the negotiation table. Now today they're concluding the deal of Hugo Ekitike and still hold an interest in Alexander Isak. The Athletic reported that Liverpool are wanting 2 players of starting capabilities in every position. Cody Gakpo and Rodriguez would give us just that. Rodrygo would give us just that, as they are 2 players who can both start left wing, and Rodrygo also gives you that little bit of flexibility of being able to play striker and right wing, especially when Salah goes to AFCON. So that is the conclusion of the situation around Diaz and Rodrygo. It is appearing that the clubs all involved, Bayern Munich, Liverpool and Real Madrid, and all the players involved, Rodrygo and Luis Diaz, are coming to a clearer understanding of how these dominoes just might fall. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next one.